A lot of people want to ceramic coat their car, but they're worried about the polishing step of it. And a lot of people, I get a ton of questions, and I see it on the internet too. Do you always have to do a paint correction before you ceramic coat a car, or can you just basically wash it and go straight to a coating? And so in this video, we have a perfect candidate. This is a brand new Porsche. We're going to wash it. We're going to talk about it, and then we are going to ceramic coat it. But I wanted to kind of discuss that because there are examples of when you don't need to do a full-blown paint correction. And in fact, some people don't want a full-blown paint correction because they don't want to pay for a full-blown paint correction. And one thing, if you're doing this as a business, I always talk about, and even if you're not doing it as a business, but just doing it for yourself, one thing I always talk about is how are you actually going to maintain the car? So depending upon how you maintain the car will answer your question if you need to do a full paint correction or not. Now, what you definitely have to do is prep the car. So prepping the car is a much different conversation than paint correction. Paint correction is just can be part of the process of prepping the car. But as I will show you in this example with this Porsche, there will be no paint correction. Even in direct sun, the paint looks flawless. It looks very, very good. And so we are not going to be doing a paint correction before we do this ceramic coating, but we are going to be prepping the paint before we do a ceramic coating. And the first start of the prep was to actually wash the car. One thing I'm not going to be doing either is I'm not going to be clay barring the car because I don't want to risk marring the paint at all. I don't want to create more work for myself that then needs to already be done. So we're going to wash the car. I'm going to pull it in. I'm going to show you in direct sun and under lights in the shop that the paint is near flawless. And so we're just going to go straight into the prep. And for prep, we're just going to be using the Picture Perfect polish with the black finishing pad. And the reason for that is that, again, I'm trying to preserve as much clear coat as possible on the car. I'm not trying to take away any clear coat. I'm not trying to level any clear coat before the coating. I'm just trying to prep the surface so that the ceramic coating, when we get to the gloss boss, it performs flawlessly. And so one thing, again, that I worked really hard on with the Picture Perfect polish is I wanted to make it so that if you were polishing out the car, you didn't need to hit it with a wax and grease remover after. You could go from polish to ceramic coating. I feel like that's a really unique feature about it. And so I use the Picture Perfect polish with the black foam pad as kind of a coating prep polish. And so it's a way to prep the paint, clear out any, there might be some light wax on this. Based on the water behavior, there was probably nothing on the paint, but I want to make sure there is nothing. So polish it, just a real quick polish, not a paint correction, and then we can wipe it off and we can go straight to ceramic coating. So I'll show you that part once we bring the car in the shop. So even when I bring it inside the shop and I use my little swirl finder light to go around, the paint is in exceptional condition and the condition that the client is okay with. So again, I don't need to remove any clear coat. I don't need to do any paint correction. I just want to do some paint prep. This car is literally brand new. There is nothing to clay. And again, I'm not going to clay it because one, it doesn't feel rough. Two, I'm not willing to take on that risk of marring the paint and then having to do some sort of paint correction. So I'm just going to grab the Picture Perfect polish and put it on a DA to do a light, quick, easy polish. If you did need to do paint correction, you could get the burgundy cut and finish pad, and this does cut and finish in one step. So if you're doing medium to aggressive paint correction, you could start with this foam pad, with the burgundy pad, and then step it down to the finish pad. To prep it, what I'm going to do is just add a few dots. And again, you don't need anything crazy because you're not doing any correcting, you're just prepping. I'm gonna go like speed 4 on my machine.
And a few tips that I just thought of, because I always get judged for my polishing whenever I polish, but the idea behind this type of polishing is I'm just trying to cover every area, because the abrasives in the formula are just removing anything that's on or in the paint. And so I'm just trying to hit every area. I'm not working really slow, because I don't need the polish to work that much. Again, I'm not doing any paint correction. So it's light pressure, light passes, and I'm not being super crazy about overlapping. I'm just trying to touch every area of the surface. So that's why you saw me kind of run down into the fender, because I actually put a little too much polish on it, on the pad, and so I had plenty to do this little section and the fender. And again, I'm just trying to hit every surface to prep it, not polish, not do any paint correction. And then maybe if we could bring people in real quick, I want to show, I can move this if you want, or whatever, yeah. I just want to show how faint the polish is. Some people, you can see there's some residue right there, but some people will talk about how polish is, not just my polish, but polish in general, can be a little tacky to remove. And some people use a wet towel or a dampened towel. But for the prep step, it's probably incredibly hard to see, and that's exactly the point. You want to work the polish down to where you almost cannot see where you even did polish. And so we polished right here, a little bit to here, but not way over here. And so, because what that does is it makes it really easy to remove the polish. And you want easy removal. Again, for the same reasons why I didn't clay bar the car. I don't want to create any marks, any swirls, anything. I'm just buzzing over the paint to clear it, to clean it, to prep it. That's it. Nothing. So you want to be able to see virtually nothing when you get to your polish wipe-off stage. And then you know you're ready to coat. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish polishing out this fender. I pretty much got this. Well, I got this section. This section's good enough. We can coat it. And I'll show you how the coating goes on as well. Would it be better to do this section up top to show the coating? Okay. So actually we'll do this body line. But I could actually feel under my towel. It's sticky here, which is exactly what you want because the paint is totally clear. And then it's slippery right here. Towel would probably actually slide. Or it's a little bit grabbier right there. That's exactly what you want. That is what I wanted in the polish, because this, remember when we were doing all those videos with Tom, he was talking about, I'm not going to do it because I'm literally going to coat this section, but he was talking about sticky paint and how sticky paint means clean paint. And that's exactly what you'll feel under the towel. Little sticky, smooth right there. It's very interesting. I wish I could ball that up and show you it, but very sticky right here, and then slick down there, which again is important. We cleaned this paint out. Now when it comes to ceramic coating, this coating, the Gloss Boss, is the easiest, most forgiving coating. It's impossible to mess up. So that is why I created this system when it comes to polishing or prepping the paint and then actually coating the paint, a system that is super easy for those of you that want the benefits of all these things, but are afraid by it or timid by it. I wanted something that it could be your first coating and you could apply it. So the Gloss Boss on the applicator, a few drips like that. Set that bottle down, and then again, no pressure. You just want the coating to kind of do its thing, or the applicator to do its thing rather. And just like with the polish, you're trying to just hit every surface and cover it. So whether that is circular motions or up and down or a wave or whatever you want to do, it doesn't matter. The whole idea is whatever's going to be best for you to make sure that you applied it and got even full coverage. So again, whether you want circles, straight lines, wavy lines, it really doesn't matter. It's just about making sure you ensure the full coverage. Now, I don't know if you could see it on the camera, but the Gloss Boss will set up. It's not a heavy sweater. It doesn't really rainbow, but you actually want to just apply it thick enough that you could see where you're going, but you don't want to overly apply it because that just wastes product. So I know there's a lot of debate over like applying coatings too thin or too thick, but the reality is that the paint is only going to accept so much product, and then it's not going to keep accepting product. So whether you apply it thin or thick, really the paint is only going to, you know, accept so much. So as long as you have nice even coverage, you'll be good. And the very nice thing, I'm doing this for video and demo purposes, but the very nice thing about the Gloss Boss is I would actually do a fender, the whole hood, and the other fender on this car before I ever went to go level. And what that's going to do is it is going to let the coating set up as much as possible on the paint, and really start to adhere and bond to the paint as best as possible. So the longer you can let it sit, the better. One thing that I don't hear a lot of people talk about, that is kind of a hack that I like to do, because depending upon the brand of coating that you use, it can be very temperamental, and there's 100 million different factors that go into how it sets up, how it lays down, your flash time and all that, depending upon not only your geolocation, but also the brand that you're using. So similar to how we do a test spot for paint correction, I would always recommend doing a test spot for the ceramic coating to see how it's reacting with the temperature, the humidity that day, your shop temperature, that specific coating bottle. And so that's why I kind of only did this small section to, one, do the video. Two, this would be a perfect size to kind of do a test spot to see how the Gloss Boss is setting up for you today. And I don't know if you could see on the camera, but it rainbows a little bit. But more importantly, what you really want is as little amount of product left over to wipe off. So as you do this test spot, you can learn, okay, how much do I need to load up my applicator? How much product do I need to put on there? Is it applying too heavy for the temperature and humidity of where I'm at? After I wait, I would say wait at least 5 minutes. That's why I say you could do like fender, hood, fender before you start to wipe it. But on your test spot, you can check that out. You could wait 5 minutes, you could wait 7 minutes, you could wait 3 minutes, and see how the coating is reacting in your coating test spot, and then you could adapt that for the rest of the car. So for me, I did a lot of yapping. It's probably been a few minutes. I could still see where the coating is, but it's getting harder and harder to see, which is exactly what you want. Similar to the polish, you want to work the polish all the way down so you don't have a lot to wipe off in the removal. And the same is true with the coating. You want to find that sweet spot of applying not too much, but just the right amount. And by the right amount, I mean after your test spot, you don't want too much product left over. If you have too much product to wipe off, not only are you wasting product, again, only so much adheres to the panel itself, but it makes your life harder. You should only need probably 2 towels. See, I just flipped the towel to a dry side, but you probably only need 2 towels to wipe it off. If you find yourself, getting a lot of streaks, a lot of smearing, a lot of issues, and it's very hard for you, you're applying too much product. And so as I move into this fender, I would probably only use 5 to 7 more drops on this applicator, and then I would do the whole entire fender, right? I would leave it, I'd let it set up, and I'd move on to the rest of the hood. Now I haven't polished the rest of the hood, so I'm not gonna move on and show you that. But that's exactly how I do it. But one thing I've really started to adapt, and one thing that I think is very important to do, because we do it in that paint correction stage, is do a coating section step where you are just kind of seeing how the coating is reacting. Maybe it's a whole fender, but sometimes you can get, depending upon the coating brand, you can get in trouble with that. So I would go maybe like a 1 foot or a 2 foot by 2 foot section and test the coating before you go for the whole entire surface, and make sure what your times are and all that. Get yourself set up and prepped and do that. But That is how I would completely prep a car before a ceramic coating. That's exactly what I'm going to do actually for the rest of this car. It's quick, it's easy. Sometimes with wax and grease removers, you do get a little bit of streaking or panel prep sprays. And sometimes you could actually mar the car. You can mar the paint in that step. So I'm not against panel preps at all. But I just wanted to see if there was a better way to do it. And back in the day when I was mobile detailing and ceramic coatings were first coming out, I really wanted a prep polish, and there was a few companies that had one, but they didn't work super great. And so when I set out to develop the Picture Perfect polish, one thing that I wanted to do was make one liquid that could do heavy paint correction and also do a coating prep polish, which is incredibly difficult to develop, but we were able to do it, work it, get it done, and to be able to polish out a car and coat right on top of it without that prep step, prep spray step, has been a total game changer, especially for soft paints. People have a lot of trouble in that wax and grease remover step. They'll do a perfect paint correction, get to the wax and grease remover, and then they're marring the paint and they're kind of fighting themselves on that. And so that was one issue that I was trying to solve with that. But if it's your first time doing paint, doing a ceramic coating, first time or millionth time, this just simplifies the process and helps you to get a repeatable process throughout the whole entire car. So hopefully that was of value to you. Hopefully that made sense. I did a lot of blabbing in this video, but hopefully you understand what I was trying to say. So I will link everything below, and that's how you can ceramic coat a car without doing any paint correction. So hope you enjoyed it. Catch you in the next one. See ya.